What is the most resilient thing in the world? Is it a parasite, bacteria, disease? And if you watch Inception, you'll know the answer. It's an idea. And just the fact that we're here today sharing our ideas and that we're brave enough to allow these people to speak, that's incredible. That's incredible that we're at a point right now where we can make a difference by sharing our ideas. So I want to tell a little bit about my story, about entrepreneurship, because I think that through entrepreneurship, that's my niche and we can make a difference. Elizabeth talked about how she wanted to help people. I also want to help people. But I didn't really want to be a doctor. I wasn't really interested in that. We heard Magic Mike talk about the illusion of impossible. There are certain things in life that seem impossible, certain problems such as poverty and famine and hunger, but they're really not. You just gotta take it one step at a time. And that's what I want to tell you today. I started a charity called One Crayon at a Time. And the reason we called it that is because we think we can make a difference of just one crayon. It'll change someone's life. We'll talk about more about that in a little bit. But I think that when people talk to me and they realize that I'm passionate, they ask, I want to do something. How do I do something? The first thing is ask why. Why is the world like this? Why is there a problem? And the best people, after that, ask how. Why is there poverty? How can I fix it? Who here wants to change the world? Right? Everybody's hand should be up because we're at UCLA and we really got to show up the USC people. This room, this school, these are the people who are going to change the world. So you gotta ask how, you gotta ask why, but you also have to be passionate. When you have an itch, you have to scratch it. As a social entrepreneur, you can't just see a problem, you gotta do something to change it, to fix it. That's something I want to impart to you today. My favorite types of people are the weird people, as my friends in here will attest. I love weird people, crazy people, irrational people. There's this old Apple ad, you might have heard of it, that I really like. It goes, the misfits, the rebels, the round pegs in the square holes. And it goes on, and then the end's my favorite part. They say, the people who are crazy enough to think that they can change the world usually are the ones who end up doing so. I'm going to tell you about a crazy idea. One of my inspirations, his name is Mohammed Yunus. And I don't think many of you have heard about him. You probably have heard of, Mark Zuckerberg and Snapchat and other things like that. So I'm here to elucidate you. What his idea was really simple, irrational, crazy, insane. Essentially what it was is he wanted to give loans to people who he knew almost surely won't be able to pay it back. It's called micro-lending. So what he did was he would take some money, let's say $25, and he would give it to countries in need and loan it to people who are very, very poor, who literally have almost 0% chance of giving it back. But the weird thing about it is, surprisingly, it worked. And I don't know whether that was because he was irrational enough to believe that it did, but I think that was a part of it. I, in the fall, realized that I'm crazy enough to think that I can make a difference. So me and my little brother, who's in 10th grade, started a charity called One Crayon at a Time. And what we do is we take educational supplies from here and donate it to cities and schools in India and Africa, etc. But we really wanted to do something more than just that. The reason I thought I couldn't make a difference in high school is because I thought these problems were so huge that I possibly couldn't change anybody's life. But then I heard this story, and some of you might have heard it. It starts with a young man walking on the beach. The young man is walking on the beach, and he sees thousands of starfish on the beach drying out. He knows that if they stay on the beach, they're going to die. He keeps walking and walking, and he sees an old man. The old man is walking, and every starfish he sees, he bends down and gently tosses it into the ocean. The young man looks up and starts laughing. So, what are you doing, old man? You can't make a difference. Do you see how many starfish are here? That's insane. The old man replies, but if I don't toss them into the ocean, they're going to die. But surely, old man, you can't save them all. Maybe not. But it made a difference to that one. That story literally changed my life because I realized that if I help one crayon, one person have a better life, then I would have made a difference. And that is incredible that I'm allowed, from my standpoint, to make a difference. What we're transitioning into is a fellowship. It's going to be a fellowship that inspires usually younger people, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, to have an idea, have a passion, and execute it. To have something they want to solve in the world and make that thing happen. So we're going to do that through mentors and resources, etc. Because I think I didn't have this in high school. So I really want to give this opportunity to people who are inspired like my brother. Because the generation is now. We are the future. And the companies and the world that's going to be created 10, 15 years from now is going to be created because of us. So we should start making some good decisions. We should realize that when we see something, when there's a problem, we have to scratch that itch. We got to fix it. And you can start one step at a time, but you got to fix it. But there will be haters. There'll be people who will say, you can't do this. And to them, you gotta say that's bullshit. I'm making a difference. How about you? I want to end by one of my favorite quotes from a book. In the book, the protagonist is going to try to stop slavery because his life was saved because of a slave. And he goes to his father-in-law and he says, I want to make a difference. I want to be an abolitionist. I want to help create a better world for my child. The father-in-law thinks this is ridiculous. You can't battle the human hydra of nature. You're not going to make a difference at all. And as you die with your gasping breath, you'll realize that you're nothing more than a drop in a limitless ocean. But what is any ocean but a multitude of drops? Thank you.